are the New York Knicks. I'm back in the New York groove. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks is taking no shorts, it's like winter. New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 407 of the New York Knicks podcast, part of the Almighty Baller Podcast Network and Dash Radio. I am Jay. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Something happened with our technology in our show / Skype or whatever, where in iTunes, where it used to be Jake would play the opening music. I would hear it on my end. I'd get pumped for the show, and then we'd go into the show. Now, for whatever reason, he plays the music on his end. I can't hear it. I just hear silence, and I hear Jay breaking into, we're ready for whatever. Just however you introduce the show. I can't really listen to you. But
it's not a good thing that you can't listen to your co-host.
Yeah, sorry. But
that would explain why you talk 90% of the episode.
It would explain. I can't really get pumped for the show without our Knicks song. And based on how the Knicks are playing lately, I don't know if you played the Knicks song or you played like "Tears in Heaven" from Eric Clapton. I don't know. It's just. Could you sing the song for me, Jay?
Yeah, the new garage band decides to not play all the internal audio from the computer back. So you can't hear anything now, which is going to make some other shows difficult. But anyway,
okay,
we're back. We're here.
Let me ask you a question, Jay.
Yeah.
When's the last time you remember the Knicks doing an alley-oop?
I feel like J.R. Smith was involved.
I feel like KP threw some down last season. I'm sure there was some thrown down this season. I can't even remember.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not Lob City. If that's
it's not Lob City. No, it's definitely not. When's the last time this team was fun to watch? It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been the last 4 or 5 games have admittedly not been great.
I don't mind if the team plays around 500 ball or a little bit less than 500 and they're competitive, but the team has been kind of not so fun to watch.
Why? Just because they lost 7 out of their last 8 games?
Yeah, that kind of kills me, yeah. 7 of the last 8 games. We also seem to be insistent on playing styles of play that are just going to not work out in the current NBA. Like, we're trying to be dead last in three-point shot. We're trying to be dead last in three-pointers defended. There's a lot that's driving me a little crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Is it a rule that late December, early January, the Knicks have to just completely collapse?
Yeah.
This is the 3rd year in a row.
Because I don't remember watching every year, last couple of years. It's like I'm like I want to watch the Knicks. And by January, the season's pretty much over. It can't be over again.
Well,
it's not over.
I mean, the good news is that the Knicks were exceeding expectations so much that they're still 18-21, which is respectable. They're close to a playoff seed. So, I mean, if you want to watch some meaningful basketball, it's still there. So there's that.
So this week, the Knicks, they lost to the Spurs, they lost to the Wizards, they lost in overtime to the Heat, and they currently are beating the Mavericks by a couple points.
Mm-hmm.
Mavericks game is in halftime, just the third quarter just started. I went on a little rant, just like a little rant to myself. Basically, I just wrote a little rant while I was watching the Miami game. Can I tell you things I was just? By the way, the Miami game. Do you know that did you look at the shooting percentages?
No, I didn't.
Did you not look at? So I'll fill you in. So the Knicks shot 48% from the field, which sounds pretty fair for a game.
Mm-hmm.
And they 38% from 3.
That's not bad.
The Heat shot 40% from the game and 28% from 3. How did the Heat have more points than the Knicks?
Huge free throw disparity?
Because the Knicks actually even the Knicks were 5 for 13 from 3. The Heat were 12 from 42. Heat shot way more three-pointers than the Knicks, were a worse percentage, but still overall had more points.
That's fun.
Yeah. Shooting a lot of threes. I'm not saying we shoot 40 threes, but shooting 13 threes a game or 10 threes a game, which the Knicks have been doing lately, is not a good strategy.
No, I would agree with that.
You have to. I understand people are saying, like, well, you know what? Knicks don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to, like, just because the Golden State Warriors are shooting up a ton of threes, we don't have to pretend we're the Golden State Warriors. And maybe we don't have the personnel. But when you're dead last in the category, you can improve things.
Yeah, dead last is never a good position to be in.
Do you remember the last time the Knicks led the league or were near the league leading in three-point shot?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was when they had the 54-win team.
That was true. I think they led the league in three-pointer shot or made that season. And I've been on a rant for the last couple of episodes about the three-pointers. But let me just give you my little rant about what I was just observing during the Heat game that was driving me insane. So first thing, I've just noticed we don't have any more point guard play. Have you noticed that?
It seems to be not great. Yeah.
It seems like the point guards just abdicate the role of running the offense. Whether it's Jack or Ntilikina, they give the ball up as fast as possible once they get over the timeline. They get over, give behind the arc, they hand it off to someone else, and just be like, okay, I'm done running the offense. I got the ball. I dribbled up the court. Man, that's my job. I have to get it over the timeline, and I'm good.
We won, right? We got
yeah,
over half court. That's a touchdown.
You get it over the half court, you've done your entire job as point guard.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on lately that weren't there at the beginning of the season, and I feel like most teams improve over the season.
Yeah, I feel like there are things that the Knicks weren't doing as much, and now they're getting worse at. So I've noticed, and I ranted about this last week, every time they get over they dribble up, they pass to the center or someone else on the top of the 3-point line, and that guy is now in charge of running the offense. Mm-hmm. Like they pass to Kyle Quinn and go, Quinn, find a cutter because I'm the point guard. I'm not going to do anything about this. Or Cantor, try to get rid of the Cantor. You're not going to do anything with the ball. You have the ball behind the 3-point line. No one thinks you're shooting. Just see if you can try to not turn the ball over passing it.
Right.
And then the other part of it is, so first they give the ball up so fast. I've also noticed one play that kills me. As much as I love Kyle Quinn hitting Doug McDermott for a screen, it's not a screen for a cutting McDermott. That's one of my favorite plays I've seen. The one that it's been driving me insane is Ntilikina will dribble the ball up. He'll be trying to do something. McDermott will run around in a circle, grab the ball from Ntilikina, hand it right back to him, and just keep going on his circle. He's done that. I've seen him do it maybe 15 times this season. I've never seen anything come out of it. It's just here, Ntilikina. It's like they're playing hot potato with each other.
Law of percentages, man. Something's got to happen at some point.
I kind of think if there's, I don't know. Now, we don't have a stat guy to look this up. But I think the Knicks make the most passes behind the 3-point line that don't result in a shot.
I'm going to just say that's true because I can't disprove it.
Yeah, I think the Knicks, all they do is they get behind the arc, they just pass the ball to each other. No one wants to do anything with the ball, and they make so many passes they're just going nowhere. Instead of going towards the basket, the Knicks are we're trying to pass the ball, move the ball. If we move it right to left, it's good enough. I don't. And if you're also, I'll be done with my rant soon. Okay. If you're a point guard and you're saying, "Hey, I don't want to." By the way, do you think the fact that they do this, where they pass the ball off and pass to whether O'Quinn or Cantor at the center position, or sometimes KP, is this by design or is the point guard's idea?
I gotta think it's by design. They do it too much.
The fact that Jack and Ntilikina both do it, It has to be by design. It has to be that Hornacek is either just forgot that they were doing that, that that was the default option that he forgot we inserted while Phil Jackson was here, or Hornacek just think that's the best way to start a play.
Yeah, it seems like it's by design to me.
Have you seen where the Knicks do this play and the defense is woe is me, they're moving the ball to the other side. How does it help the team?
Yeah.
I've seen the most contested passes coming out of this, as I said last week. They can't just pass the ball, and it's almost a turnover every time.
Email us, nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know why this is a good idea.
So that's how they start the offense, which I think immediately kills the offense. When you're starting the offense with just a stagnant start, where you're just passing the ball, where you're spending a lot of your energy passing the ball behind the 3-point line, which also takes like 10 seconds off the clock at least. That kills it. But let's say you're a point guard, Ntilikina or Jack, and you're like, hey, you know what? I want to start the offense differently. I want to try to get to the basket. You could create on your own, but you know what a lot of point guards do? They have a guy on their team who sets a pick to help them kind of penetrate. When's the last time you've seen Ntilikina or Jack dribble the ball up and someone's there to try to set a pick for them?
I feel like O'Quinn might do that.
O'Quinn does it some. He does it more than others. And Cantor usually... Cantor will do that if 10 seconds are gone from the clock. He'll just come over and be like, I should be doing this. Nothing's happening. It's not a go-to play. They don't. It's rare, and it happens during the game. It definitely happens, but it seems like it's rare that immediately someone's like, "Let me set a pick for the Knicks for the point guard because I want to make something happen here."
Yeah.
And when's the last time you seen them set a double screen?
Oh, now you're just talking crazy.
I've seen the Golden State Warriors set tons of double screens. Not that we're not the Warriors. But do some things, creative things to to create space. And even if you're Ntilikina and you want to, or Jack, you want to penetrate. Sometimes you can, but a lot of times you have KP posting up, Cantor posting up. You don't have a lot of space to post up to penetrate to.
Right.
And also you have a couple guys that can shoot on the wings, but you don't pass to them ever. So no one ever thinks that Lance Thomas is getting the ball to shoot. So we don't need to guard him. We don't think Doug McDermott's getting the ball. And Doug McDermott will just miss the shot anyway. I don't even understand how he's a high shooting percentage because I never see him make a three, except for that one that was tied the Miami game.
Is this episode going to be the long-awaited Beasley apology episode, or is that negated by the fact that he injured himself taunting the Miami bench?
I'm kind of think of all these guys in the bench. Beasley's one of the few I'd bring back.
I mean, his last 3 games, he's averaged 20 points in 25 minutes. The guy can score.
I mean, if you think about Kyle O'Quinn, guys are going to be free. Kyle O'Quinn, Doug McDermott, and Michael Beasley. Who do you want back? Who should be number one prior? I mean, obviously things can change, but right now, who seems like the most important guy on the bench?
I was higher on Beasley going into the season than you.
You were really high on him. I called him Derek Williams 2.0. You seem to be correct. Beasley is looking a lot better.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. You need a guy who can. Well, the Knicks need a guy who can score. Period.
Yeah, but you need a guy. You need a guy to run the offense through on the second unit.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the Knicks without Hardaway. The Knicks need scoring so bad. Because KP. Are you a little worried at how tired he says he is?
I think the comment's overblown because guys are tired. But it was poor form even saying the word tired because you should know the New York media by now.
Yeah.
But you know why he's tired? There was one play in the Miami game where KP was just who was trying to post up on was blatantly fouling him, just nailing him in the back. And you see KP basically almost flop over, then gets the entry pass. And he's so tired from just trying to get his position that he does a turnaround jumper and he misses. But I think part of the being tired is you're spending so much energy fighting for position that you're tired by the time you get the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. It's less than halfway through the season. I don't like hearing about how he's this tired already.
I mean, in fairness, so the last 3 years he's done the same thing where he kind of falls off, and part of it's tired because he's yet to play a full season, and this is the most minutes of his career. So I understand that is that make it excusable?
I feel like other players are capable of doing. Is it because he's 7'3", or is it
Yeah, it's 7'3". He's a freak of a human. Have you not noticed this?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out if it's that he's 7'3", or it's that he has conditioning issues.
Yeah, let's take examples of all the 7'3" guys that you know and ask them. Yeah, I wonder. I do wonder if it's the Knicks conditioning. The Knicks overall, so many guys do not run the floor on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm just saying, maybe he spent a lot of time in the weight room and not a lot of time doing cardio.
I think that might be true. I think that the Knicks maybe. I don't know. It's just so hard to say. I would say, though, I think the Knicks are doing a disservice to KP with how they try to get him the ball these days. I think they need him to stop. Do you want to see KP post? Like, how many times a game should KP be posting up?
I think it depends on the matchups, really.
Oh, I think the answer is 0, but go on.
No, I think there's some guys he can abuse, and he should do that constantly. And then other guys he can't muscle down.
But isn't the league getting wise to this? The league is basically, they double him a lot, and basically they put anyone they're putting on him now is really fighting him for position.
Yeah, but Dwight Howard is still posts up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do anything.
Dwight Howard.
The other day they said Dwight Howard had a career high 3 mid-range shots. I mean, the guy literally does nothing except dunk.
No, it's true, but he's made a career out of it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Posting up can still be relevant.
I don't disagree. If it's Cantor, who would you rather see post up, Cantor or KP?
Well, Cantor, because Cantor doesn't have an outside shot.
No, he doesn't have an outside. By the way, do you remember last week? I forgot to mention one of the games. I forget the game where they lost on a last-second 3-point. Like they had a shot to win the game. They needed a 3, and they had Cantor shoot the 3.
Not a great plan.
No, and it was what I didn't understand is right before the plan, I was like, "Why is Cantor on the floor? They need a 3. Once you have 5 guys on the floor that can shoot a 3, and of course they had 4 guys on the floor that could shoot a 3, and Cantor who got the ball."
It's almost like the defense saw that and made it so that Cantor was the only guy open to get the inbounds.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Cantor actually might get the shot. Actually, the shot didn't look that bad, but it was still like you don't want the guy to make his first 3 of his career on the game-winning shot.
Right.
I think he might have more than one in his career, but I don't think it's many. So going the KP thing. So here's my thing with KP. I think he's setting way too many. He's getting killed he's probably getting fouled a little bit too much on these post ups. But he also couldn't the Knicks be a little more creative when they get in the ball? Like, how about we do some more pick and roll with him? How about we try to do a little bit pick and pop with him? How about we set some extra screens on his guy to get him open? Isn't there more we can do to get him open?
So you're saying Hornacek's doing a bad job?
Yes, I think Hornacek is doing overall, he's doing a good job. The team is overperforming, but I don't think he's adjusting to what the defense is doing to his team, and I think he could do a lot more to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
And he could do a lot more to change this offense a little bit to make it better. I don't know how much. I mean, he's been telling he wants Ntilikina to and Jack to both penetrate more. And as much as he says it to them, I mean, you can't force a guy to do it during the game, right?
Right.
So I don't know if he's not really pressing these points, so the Knicks aren't listening. But I feel like there needs to be more observing a game film, figuring out what the Knicks are doing that's stagnating the offense, and trying to counteract these things.
Sounds reasonable.
I mean, everyone's saying on the 3-point thing, everyone's saying, well, you can only take the 3-pointers that the defense is giving you. The Knicks are giving the other team 40 3-pointers a game that are open, pretty much. The other team has to be giving the Knicks at least 20. There has to be an ability to have 20 reasonable 3-pointers shot in a game.
Right.
So
I guess let's take this time to go to our 10-minute segment.
Is he ready? I'll just other thing right before we do that also.
Yeah.
The Knicks, by the way, just to finish my rant.
Mm-hmm. It's still going?
It's still going.
Okay.
I was really angry. The Knicks, by the way, have you noticed that? When's the last time you saw the Knicks set a good screen?
I swear I saw Cantor do one.
I mean, I feel like most of the screens, especially KP's, are horrible. Is they kind of commit to the screen, they set the pick, and then they kind of leave as the guy's getting there almost, or leave as fast. They don't set ones where they're really I'm going to be here. I'm really going to stop the guy coming to me. Most of the time, they're trying to think about their own getting the ball themselves. They set lackluster picks that just aren't as effective.
Yeah.
Okay. What else did I have that I wanted to? That was pretty much it. The only thing I noticed in the Heat game was, at the end of the Heat game, Hornacek. I think it might have been during regulation, but he pulled Frank for Lance Thomas for defense, but left Jared Jack on the floor.
Questionable.
Kind of questionable. I don't know. It's also in the I think in the Wizards game, Jack was getting way too many minutes versus John Wall, who was destroying him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, I'm done with my rant. Okay.
Okay.
I'm angry. I have rant. Give me a rant. Do you have a rant? You're not upset at all? I want entertaining basketball.
Of course I'm upset. Well,
what are you upset about?
I'll rant after our 10-minute call.
Okay, cool.
And we're back.
Okay, we are here with our 10 minutes with a diehard fan, and our diehard fan today is Max. How you doing, Max?
I'm good, and you? A little tired, maybe.
Oh, like KP?
No, that's my IKP, but it's 3 a.m. in the morning, but I'm really happy.
Where are you calling
to be on the
from?
show.
Tell everyone.
I'm in Switzerland.
That is awesome. How did you become? I'm going to start the clock. How did you become? Well, why? You live in Switzerland, not in New York. Why do you torture yourself by being a Knicks fan?
It all basically started with the decision of LeBron in 2010. Yeah. And there was some speculation about LeBron coming to the Knicks.
And wait, not to interrupt you, you had to commit to which team you wanted before LeBron made his decision. Then you were like, God damn it, I picked the wrong team.
Yes, kind of. No, just the thought of of this franchise becoming huge with a star player that really made me become a Knicks fan. So then Amari arrived, and it was not LeBron, but then I became to be a Knicks fan.
Okay. How did you enjoy the Amari Carmelo years?
I enjoyed the first half year with Amari, and then it all went down, basically. But yeah, we had some good times, but overall, I think it was a disappointment.
Yeah, I would say. We made the playoffs a couple times, which didn't realize that would be the last time we'd ever make the playoffs, but whatever. How are you? So this season, is it meeting your expectations? Has it been a fun season for you watching?
Yes, actually, I'm really happy with the season so far. So yeah, because during the last couple of Melo years, I think we didn't really have a team, and it was just a mix of players, and they were just waiting till Melo tries to score. And now I see a real team out there, and they actually show some passion, and that's really nice to see.
It's nice, especially on defense, you see guys that are trying on defense, which I'm not sure. I wasn't sure the Knicks were allowed to do that, and I'm really excited they are allowed to do that. What are your bright spots of the season? If you had to say, like, here are the 5 things that make me happy about this team.
Well, first of all, maybe Frank. He looks really solid. I didn't expect that, to be honest, and I'm just really happy to see his development, and that he could be a really good NBA player. I think he's really good on defense, and shows signs of shows like he could be a really good NBA player.
What do you think is maybe not ceiling, but where do you think he'll end up in a couple of years? How good will he be?
A starting point guard in the NBA.
That's solid. The Knicks don't currently have a guy who's a real starting point guard, so that's pretty good.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all we can ask for, I guess.
I mean, he could go down based on the Knicks point guard history. He could go down. He could be one of the all-time great Knicks point guards, because the Knicks history, once you get through the first few, are pretty bad. Like the Knicks historically, the point guard position has been pretty bad in this team.
Yeah, that's right.
And Ntilikina looks like he could be a all-star as far as defense. If he could get the offensive end of his game, we could be really happy.
Yeah, I mean, he looks really great out there, especially on defense. And I mean, there are all these videos out there, him defending, for example, John Wall this week, and it really looks nice. I mean, he just has the basics to become a really good NBA player.
Yeah,
the fundamentals.
It's also crazy. Like, you think about how he's playing a guy like John Wall, and he's not like shutting Wall down, but you think about how well he's doing, and you're like, wow, if the guy had a little more experience, wow, he could be really, really good on defense.
Yeah, he makes it really hard for them to score, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's what else do you like about this team? What else makes you excited?
The defense, as you mentioned, that's really good. I think I think the higher pace overall, that looks really good. I think at the moment they're third in opponent field goals percentage,
which is kind of shocking.
Yeah, that was shocking to me, but I looked it up.
It's the 3-pointing. The problem is that they give up way too many 3-pointers, or way too many open 3-pointers. Let me ask you, as far as the bench, if you could only keep one of these guys next year, Kyle O'Quinn, Doug McDermott, or Michael Beasley, who would you keep?
Doug. Obviously, Doug. Yeah, I like. I like his shooting. I think he should get more plays. There should be more plays for him. I also like Kyle O'Quinn, but I think I would keep Doug.
You wouldn't keep Beasley, even though he's been putting up a bunch of points?
I'm not sure.
He seems like Bitcoin. He seems like fool's gold, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's really surprising. I didn't expect him to be that good. He looks like a solid NBA player. So far, I'm really surprised. I'm happy, and I don't have a problem if they keep him. But it's Beasley. You never know.
The McDermott, I feel like he disappears too often when he's on the court. Have you noticed that? Like, I feel like he could be a bigger part of the offense, and he's just not.
Yeah, I don't think they run enough plays for him. I think they should run more plays for him, and in general, I think that's one of the problems this year, that they have to work really hard to score sometimes, especially in late games. Also, KP without Timmy, it's really hard for him to get the ball sometimes. And overall, they run really simple plays sometimes, and that makes it easier to defend, especially in late games.
One thing I've been harping on is that I've noticed that whether it be Jack or Ntilikina, they dribble the ball up. They immediately, before they even get to the 3-point line, pass the ball to whether it be Cantor or Kyle O'Quinn or sometimes KP at the top of the 3-point line, and those guys immediately have to pass the ball to someone else. Why does it make sense to start the offense like this?
I'm not sure, but I always have the feeling that they don't have an option B in this place. They always try to run a simple pick and roll, for example, for KP, and then if it is not open, then they start to panic.
Yeah, I think they panic, and I feel like they were being more creative earlier in the year, or maybe the defenses are catching up to them. But it seems like they seemed like the offense looked more creative, more interesting earlier in the year, and now it seems like a lot of times it's become a little bit more ho-hum.
Yep.
But so the big fear is now the Knicks have, I think, 12 or 16 games on the road in January. The last couple of years, they've fallen off a cliff come January. Are we going to fall off a cliff, or are things going to go positive from here?
Not sure. At the moment, it looks like we're falling off the cliff, but I hope not.
I really hope not. I mean, make me feel like we're going to right the ship. What's going to happen is going to right the ship.
I think it all depends on if Timmy comes back, or if we can make it easier somehow for KP, because at the moment he has to work a lot to get the ball, and when he gets the ball, then he always goes to the post, and does his fadeaway jumpers like you mentioned also last week.
Yeah, is KP is he posting up too much?
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe too much Melo influence there.
Yeah, he's also just not. I mean, he's not Melo. Maybe we should do a little different with him. Let me ask you a totally different note. There have been some rumors that trade deadline's coming up, and teams have professed some interest in Hernan Gomez. Would you trade Hernan Gomez, and what would you want from
him? Yes, I would trade him. I think maybe a second-round pick. Something like that. You would
sell him for a second-round pick?
Yeah, at the moment he doesn't really bring much to the table. I mean we we're locked with with Noah. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, when you say, "Oh, what kind of return do you want for a guy who's not the third at best in the rotation on a mediocre team?" Yeah, he's not even getting minutes. But on the other hand, I would want the Knicks to be able to get more than just like a second round pick.
Okay, maybe that's a little.
No.
Enough, but
If you're right though, in the sense of like, if I'm another team, I'm like, the guy's not even playing for you, and you guys aren't that great. Why would I give you more than a second round pick for him?
Exactly. I mean, he showed that he can play last year, but this year, I mean, yeah, we didn't really see him that much. So I wouldn't give up that much if I was another team.
Are you surprised how much we miss Timmy?
Yes. I mean, I'm not really surprised, but it's really obvious that we miss him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there aren't many guys on the team that are real playmakers, and like Timmy's the guy that he can make things happen.
Yeah, I think the other best playmaker is Beasley, and that's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Beasley looks. The thing is that you say it's sad, but Beasley looks really good some of the time. Some of the time you want to kill him, but some of the time he's looking really good lately.
Yeah, you never know what you get.
I mean, there's no denying like his numbers. His numbers lately. I mean, his numbers. We got rid of Melo, and Beasley's outperforming Melo lately.
I mean, his numbers are really solid. I have to say. I think he's scoring 12 points. I'm not sure, but yeah.
He's been putting 20 the last couple games. Like his defense isn't amazing, but his defense hasn't been horrible either. It's kind of shocking he has been not being able to like land on a team for like he's moved around so much. You'd think he'd have found a home already.
It's fun how shocked everybody is when they see Beasley play. So yeah, I think it's just entertaining, but I'm not sure if we'll keep him.
So let me ask you a last question. Who do you want to see get more minutes, and who do you want to see get less minutes going forward?
Maybe Frank a little more minutes.
Understandable.
I think I'm good with him coming from the bench, but I'd like to see him play more often with KP.
Yeah.
So they can develop a chemistry. And less minutes, yeah, that would be Jack, I guess.
That would be the counterpunch there.
Exactly.
What do you think when they have the two of them together on the floor?
You mean Frank and
Jack? You said Jack for less minutes. What do you think of when they have the two of them on the floor? So Hornacek recently has done a little bit more of the 2-point guard lineups. What do you think of those?
Yes, as long as Timmy is not available, I think that's fine. And it looks okay. But in general, I think one is good enough. And also, I'd like to see Baker a little more out there. I think he's a really good defender overall, and he did a good job. And yeah, maybe bring him more often, or Dotson.
I'd like to see a little more Dotson, but yeah. Any last words you want to say before we cut you off?
Just that I'm really happy with the team this year. I really think they are building a winning mentality, winning mindset, and I'm not a real fan of tanking. So I don't think you can tank 1 year and 2 years later you can compete for a championship. So I think I'm really happy with the way the team is going at the moment.
Yeah, no, they were fun. I feel like they're definitely building. They may just need some more talent, basically, and that could just be like developing some of the young, drafting some other guys in like the middle of rounds and getting some guys who are good and just kind of developing them and growing as a team.
Yeah, but if somebody told me before the season that we are almost over 500 at this point, I would be yeah.
I would have been ecstatic. Yes, I would have guessed by this point in the season the Knicks would have possibly the worst record in the NBA. So this is better. I would have guessed that like we wouldn't be trying to tank; we would just be tanking by the team as is. But this has been pretty good. Thank you for calling in, especially for staying up at 3 a.m. to call us. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, is there a contingent? Like, do you know a lot of other Knicks fans there?
No, unfortunately not. I'm really lonely here as a Knicks fan. I have some other friends who follow basketball a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty lonely.
Well, you are a true diehard fan, rooting from them from so far away. So that's awesome. Thank you very much for calling in.
Do you have any Twitter or anything you want to plug?
I have Twitter, but I don't want to promote that. I'm not worth it.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Another good call.
Another good call.
I love saying that because we have good calls.
We've yet to have a bad call, so
don't ruin it, next person.
And I think we have a couple more weeks of people booked, but then we have a while. Then we have a whole rest of the season where people aren't booked. So if you want to show that you're a diehard Knicks fan, call us and tell us more about yourself. And let's talk some Knicks.
Yes.
Anyway, you can email us at
nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. We're also NY Knicks Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. If you like the show and want to help support it, you can send us money through Patreon. And anybody who sends money through Patreon and wants a pen, email me your address.
Why don't they automatically get a pen, Jay?
Because
I automatically the extra act.
Because I automatically don't know their address.
Well, just
wouldn't that be creepy if I were just like, "Hey, I know where you live. Here's a pen."
If as they hit submit on the Patreon thing, you're just like knocking on their door. It's Jay. I'm here.
I just wanted to hand deliver it because I love you so much.
The pen's in my pocket. Just get it out of my pocket.
Also, if you could subscribe on iTunes and leave an iTunes review, that helps a lot. On the What's Hot section on the Professional Sports Podcast, we have moved up to 36th, and the front page of What's Hot shows 32. Ooh. So we are almost on the front page there. And our host, Almighty Baller Podcast Network, they are in the top 20 now. So, yes, moving on.
I thought of another guerrilla marketing campaign we should get.
Mm-hmm.
So I've noticed there in the news, like a lot of names have been really popular in the news lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking along the lines of Matt Lauer, Al Franken, Roy Moore. Like you keep seeing these names in the news. So I'm thinking we should get a intern, female probably better for you, Jay, and you sexually harass her, and then we could be in the front of like New York Times with the whole sex harassment thing.
Why am I the sexual harasser?
Well, come on, Jay. You can't take one for the team?
I just feel like I do a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, I know. And it's just one more thing on your shoulders. Do you mind doing that?
Maybe when I'm done with the CPA, I'll have time to finger blast somebody under the desk.
Just you don't really have to, just do things that are creepy enough that we can make the front of the New York Times so we can get more downloads.
Oh, so I could just, do a lot of leering and innuendos. I don't have to.
Yeah, make her feel give her when she says, "Hi, Jay, how you doing?" and then you just massage her randomly.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to cheat on your girlfriend. You just have to make it creepy enough for this girl that she reports to the news media, and we make the front page of the New York Times for something awful, but that leads to more people noticing the show.
Gotcha.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're on board for this. We can talk more. You have guerrilla marketing. I have guerrilla marketing. You made some pens. I have developed an elaborate plan to ruin your life.
And what was I going to say? I just wanted to stress again the iTunes reviews. We could really use a few of those. Move us up a couple more spots.
You want me to read? Do we have some more recent ones?
I think we might have read all the ones on there.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I'm pulling.
I'm not sure. There was one that I wasn't sure if we read. If we didn't, we will read it next week.
Okay.
Because neither of us have it up right now. And thank you everyone who is a Patreon. That is definitely helping.
So Knicks are up by 11 points. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
I just want to say next week we will be bringing back our comedy podcast, The Brink of Sanity. So you could check out brinkofsanityshow.com or just type in Brink of Sanity in iTunes.
Yes. So Jay, tell me your rants. What's been driving you crazy? Besides CPA.
Yeah, that's been mainly driving me crazy. But what's been driving me crazy, before the season started, you would have called me crazy for doing this rant, but I want to see more Beasley. The guy goes out there and he scores a ton of points. He's playing in the low 20s in minutes. The guy, he scored 18, 20, and 20 in his last 3 games.
And efficiently, too.
And very efficiently. And
by the way, just a pause. I had the game on, and while I'm watching on my phone while we do this. Yeah. And I just saw McDermott circle the court for no reason to hand the ball get the ball from Ntilikina and hand it right back to him. Don't know why that happened. Just pointing out that it's going to be 20 times soon that I've seen him do this dumb circle. But go on about Beasley.
I just feel like we're putting Lance Thomas out there who does play defense, but he does almost nothing else. And I don't think we need that, really. Is he that good on defense? Like, that he's making that much of a difference over Beasley?
So here's the question. And seems like Hornacek is kind of realizing that, like, end of games, he's doing a lot more Beasley KP lineups. But does it kill us too much having Beasley with KP? And, I mean, if you get Beasley, KP, and Cantor, isn't the defense there, like, too lackluster?
Yeah, I think Beasley can rebound, too. So I think if you do a Beasley KP, you got to pull Cantor.
I agree with you. I agree that you have to say, Beasley, you have to do more of the rebounding. And Beasley's a pretty good rebounder.
I mean, I think you have to have a 2 subpar defender lineup at max. Like, you can't have 3 subpar defenders out there at the same time.
I mean, well, I feel like that's hard to do with this team. But
it's going to be even harder when Timmy comes back. But
because I kind of like KP, like Beasley being KP's backup, where like KP leaves the floor, Beasley comes on, you run the offense through Beasley, and then KP comes back on the floor, and you take Beasley off the floor.
Yes,
as more of a longer term. But you're saying you want more KP Beasley. You want Beasley's not so much Beasley's KP's backup, but Beasley's also a guy who's going to get significant minutes with KP, like 30 minutes a game now.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yes. Sorry. Just to switch gears for 1 second. Last bit of housekeeping. The last couple episodes I've been asking about the audio quality.
Yeah.
Have not heard one piece of feedback, so we're just going to assume we've gotten thousands of downloads and not one feedback.
Assume no one cares, okay, Jay? Audio quality, it's hitting whatever minimum standard it needs. No one gives a crap. It doesn't sound like opera.
I'm just going to say, if it's bad, it's on you now, because we've asked for 3 straight episodes. So if this sounds bad to you, it's your fault, not mine.
Please don't respond to Jay, because I never want to hear about this again. And hopefully, if you don't respond, he'll never bring it up again. We can never talk about audio quality again. So that's one of the things. So with the Beasley point, Lance Thomas, and I do like his defense, but he brings so little on offense. And the same can be true for Ron Baker. Is their defense worth playing them as much as they? Baker's not getting the same minutes.
Even today, there's 4 minutes left in the game. Thomas has played 21 minutes and took 1 shot, and Baker played 13 minutes and hasn't shot at all.
See, the thing also is, like, if you say like Doug McDermott, like, he doesn't hit as many threes. I wanted to be more Kyle Korver. He's not Kyle Korver, but. Like the thing with Lance Thomas and Baker, like Doug McDermott, if he got the ball more and he shot more, in some realm, I feel like he could just score more baskets. Lance Thomas and Ron Baker, if you see them try to play, they're just not very good outside of being okay at shooting 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess the argument is that they're good on defense, but is there excellence on defense that good that it makes up for their complete non-existence on offense?
Yeah, well, what I would say basically is that so Ron Baker isn't a good 3-point shooter, and so it doesn't really justify having it. Like, Baker doesn't do much on offense at all, and the only thing you could say is that it's helpful to have him when we're getting destroyed by the guards. It's helpful to have another guard out there to like really stop the guards.
Yeah,
which is reasonable, especially if you have if you had Baker next to, say, Ntilikina, and then you had 3 guys who could score on the floor, I can live with that.
Mm-hmm.
The Lance Thomas thing, it's the Spurs game. Lance Thomas was 5 for 7 from the floor, 3 for 5 from 3-point land. I believe he was 3 for 5 from 3-point land in the first half, and they never gave him the ball again to shoot a 3 the rest of the game.
You know this is going to lead to people calling for a Lance Thomas apology episode.
My whole point is that Lance Thomas is actually not a bad. Like, he's horrible driving the ball. He's pretty bad at almost everything on offense. But the one thing he could do is he could shoot threes. He's a 3-and-D.
Mm-hmm.
What everyone's like goes off about these days. And this year he's shooting about 37% from the floor from three. Last year he shot 44% from three. The year before that he shot 40% from three. For his career, he's shooting 40% from three. How about we have him shoot the ball from three more?
It seems like it should be a no-brainer, but
if you're gonna, if you're gonna have him out there on the floor to start, I would say I agree with you in the sense of like, if you're gonna have him on the floor, he's almost pointless on the offensive side of the floor unless you're gonna like give him the ball sometimes to shoot.
Yeah.
There's lots of times he runs on the floor on offense, he stands in the corner, and no one even looks at him. If you watch Jared Jack, I'm watching Jared Jack. When Jared Jack drives to the basket, he will only look for Cantor or KP, no one else. And most of the time he puts his head down, and once he puts his head down, he will not pass the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we need multi-dimensional players.
Yeah, I mean, Jack, as much as he's been okay as a point guard and solid as a starter, he's the 30th best point guard in the league right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, some backups might be better than him also. But you're right. I'd say the Beasley thing, he's playing pretty well. Why not? The only thing I'd say with Beasley when he's out there with KP, like, is it too much guys that are going to be like, say, give me the ball and get out of my way?
That's fine.
Yeah,
Somebody's got to do it.
I mean, if you're efficient, it doesn't really matter. Like, doesn't matter what the hell. Like no one would kill Melo for saying for being ISO Melo if he was shooting 55% from the floor.
Right. That one game Beasley was what, 11 for 14.
I mean, LeBron is heavy ISO. No one gives a crap because he's LeBron.
Right.
He's super efficient. What else is making you mad? And then we'll go to the questions. Give me one thing. Or what else do you want? What other rant you got?
I mean, the consistency in the lineups I'd like to see. Like the other day, Sessions and Noah are out there in like the second quarter, and it's I mean, everyone on the team has got to be like, what's going on? There's no consistency in these lineups at all.
It is sometimes they just do weird things. Like
I know Hornacek said that he wants to play to matchups, but what matchup calls for Sessions and Noah?
I don't understand at all. And Hernangomez played for 5 minutes tonight. What matchup said I need 5 minutes from Hernangomez, yet I've not been playing him all year?
Right.
It doesn't.
They said that because he was played in Spain with Pau Gasol that he would know how to play against him.
Oh, okay. Well, that was genius.
It worked out great.
Yeah, that was.
I think Hernangomez was -7 in 2 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like why? The one thing of this, I think the Sessions game, I think they said Ntilikina was sick. He had maybe, I don't know if the flu or something, so he was a little bit more drained than normal. So maybe they played Sessions because of that.
Cool.
But that better be the reason. I don't know. You want to go questions?
Yeah, let's go to questions.
By the way, Knicks are down up 3 minutes to go in the game. They're up by 5 points. Oh, by the way, people have been killing Courtney Lee because Courtney Lee just had the ball, saying that Courtney Lee should never touch the ball in the end of game situations.
Why?
Did you see it?
Like the best shooter on the team.
Well, they were saying that when he tries to create the shot for himself in the end of games, he turns the ball over or just does something poor. Like he has looked pretty bad when at the end of games when he has the ball. Like in the Miami game, he tried instead of shooting a 3, he tried to draw a foul on a 3 instead. Which
it's a little nitpicky, I think.
I don't know. But people have been I was just reading some in the comment section of toasting people were killing why they don't want Courtney Lee handling the ball at the end of games anymore.
I don't know. That seems a little weird. Okay.
He's one of our better shooters. Yeah, it's kind of hard to. He's one of our better options still. Okay, Knicks are only up by 3 points with 3 minutes to go. They better not blow this game. By the way, 3 minutes to go, and the lineup right now is Jack. Why is Jack out there over Ntilikina?
They were up by 10 about a minute ago.
Yeah. Lance Thomas now has the ball. He just drove to the basket, and
I mean,
Jack got called for an offensive foul, so the Dallas has the ball back.
No, I mean, that's what you want is Jack and Thomas out there in crunch time.
Yeah, I don't understand. Especially, like, you could just argue that obviously you want to win games, but if you're going to say anything for development, it's just helpful for development for Ntilikina to get these minutes to begin with. And even if it's not helpful for development, Ntilikina's probably just better than Jack out for these minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched this game very closely, so I don't know. Maybe Ntilikina's looked so bad, or Jack has looked so good. Tie game, by the way.
That's okay. Keep going with the questions because I'm just going to blow my lid.
Okay, I thought you had the emails. Any emails?
We don't have any emails.
Okay, whatever. We have Facebook. Okay, here we go.
This is our first episode we haven't had emails. Weird.
Eric writes, who is KP's real sidekick? Knicks are going to lose this game. I freaking know they're going to lose the game. 2 minutes to go. Dallas has the ball. Tie game. So who's KP's sidekick while I just like...
I mean, it should be Frank, but it doesn't seem like he has a sidekick right now.
Well, it's definitely not Frank because Frank's like, they don't even play together that much.
Hardaway, who's not playing either.
Yeah. Knicks have the ball back. Tie game still. Dallas missed a shot.
By the way, I like the nickname Angry Grandpa for Hardaway.
No. Who said that?
That's what the team is calling him because he's pissed off he can't play. So they call him Angry Grandpa.
Okay, so KP was just driving the ball and just fell over, basically.
Cool. He looks tired.
Yeah. I mean, he was basically... I'm watching the slow motion. He's driving, and his defender kind of just moves, and KP just falls over, and the ball goes out of bounds. But KP was fouled. Do you think? And I guess KP is getting fouled a lot, but he's gonna have to deal with getting fouled a little bit, not getting all these calls. Big guys never get as many calls as smaller guys do. We're up by 1 point now. But who else is sidekick now? I guess Courtney Lee is sidekick currently.
Sure.
Okay. Evan writes, do the Knicks need to make the playoffs to show that they are not an embarrassment anymore, or have they already achieved that?
Sorry, repeat that?
Do the Knicks need to make the playoffs to show they are not an embarrassment anymore, or have they already achieved that?
No, I wouldn't call them an embarrassment, even if they finish the season like around this record and in 10th place. That's not an embarrassment.
Well, I don't think they need to make the playoffs, but they need to finish the season respectable. You got to get to like 35 wins or something like that. You need to.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
they're 3 games below now, and it's halfway through. If they finish the season 6 games below, that's not really an embarrassment.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I'm just saying the Knicks haven't achieved it yet because the Knicks could just fall off from here like they've done the last couple of years. So they're not yet. You have to finish the season respectably. Okay, tie game, 1 minute to go in the game. And yeah, the Knicks were up by 10 like a minute ago or 2 minutes ago. Carlo writes, do you think KP's tired comments means he wants off the Knicks?
No, I think he's legitimately tired.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he has a right to be tired? Like in the sense of like back-to-back games, you're playing the most minutes you've ever played in your career, and you're probably expending the most energy you've ever done in your career because now you're like the focal point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how anybody does this NBA schedule. That being said, a lot of players have seemed to figure it out. So, yeah, he has a right to be tired, but it's still a little concerning to me.
By the way, is Michael Beasley out because of his ankle?
Yeah, he was taunting the Miami bench at the end of the game and rolled his ankle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You said that before, but I was thinking about because there was another play in the Miami game where he hurt his ankle before that in the beginning of like the overtime.
Mm-hmm.
But then he did it again?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay. I don't want Beasley back. Forget him. He's going to be – he's like the new JR. I mean, the reason his career is not like – he's too good of a player not to move around this much. You know what I didn't realize? You know why? I didn't realize that he was a casualty of the whole LeBron decision. Like Miami, like not that Miami would like Miami probably wouldn't have bailed on him as fast as they did. KP just shot an air ball. But they bailed him as fast as they did because they had to cut him basically for salary cap because when LeBron made his decision.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that derailed him a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, almost Knicks got the ball. Okay, 40 seconds to go. They stopped an alley-oop, so it was actually good defense. Jack's driving to the basket. Jack floater. Oh, teardrop from Jared Jack. Knicks are up by 2 points. 30 seconds to go. So the defense shut down KP. They double teamed KP, and Jack took the opportunity to just drive to the basket.
Well, that's why Jack's there.
Yeah,
we figured it out.
Jack, his offense. If you could combine Jared Jack and Ntilikina, then it'd be kind of decent.
Mm-hmm.
Nick writes, I'm concerned that KP. Oh, sorry. No, Eric writes, do you think KP will rethink playing in EuroLeague to avoid running out of gas halfway through the season? That's a good comment from Eric. Do you think the reason he's tired has anything to do with EuroLeague?
Well, I mean, he's definitely not used to the amount of games or the minutes because of EuroLeague.
Well, he won't be used. No, but I mean, like, because he played so much right before the season started, like, that makes him tired.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah, maybe.
That could have definitely wore him out a lot more than, like...
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
That's a solid point. Do you think in the future that he'll maybe not do EuroLeague?
I feel like he should not do EuroLeague, but I feel like he will do EuroLeague.
I agree with you. I feel like he will. I feel like it's one of the things, though, like, you're really going to be committed to being a star player. He wants to be an all-star. You want to be an all-star. You don't get to do everything you want to do. Yeah. And one of the things you don't do is you don't play EuroLeague. You say, I'm going to play my whole offseason making sure I'm good in the NBA. The EuroLeague doesn't count for anything for me. This is what I want to do. Later in my career, if I want to play in the EuroLeague, that's great. But right now, I'm trying to be an all-star here.
Yeah.
Like right now, do you think KP's an all-star?
Borderline.
Yeah, I'd say borderline. I have to look at who else is up there, but like the way he's playing lately, oh God. Don't go in. Yes. So Dallas had the ball, shot a 3, missed it. Courtney Lee rebounded it, and now Courtney Lee is going to the line to shoot 2. Knicks might pull this off. 16 seconds to go. Nick writes, I'm concerned that KP will never become the superstar we were hoping he would be. Anyone share that concern?
Of course. I mean, it's a legitimate concern.
Is part of it that maybe that the jump we were hoping him to take, like the first 10 games of the year, it looked like he took some like major jump, and we were like, wow, we have like our savior. Is it terrible if he just develops a little bit more slowly?
No, not at all. I mean, it really could be his elbow too. Maybe in the offseason he gets the elbow surgery, and then next season he looks like he did the first 10 games all season. I mean, that's also possible.
You've been talking about the elbow a lot. By the way, Courtney Lee, you realize he leads the league in free throw percentage?
Yeah, he's on. Is he still on his streak?
He's still on his streak. Yeah, he's going to start. I think he was at some point recently. He was like 10 back at Duhan.
I can't believe Duhan has multiple Knicks records.
Yes. The assist thing also. If Courtney Lee tops that, I'd be a lot more impressed in the free throw one. Okay.
For those of you who don't know, Courtney Lee has the all-time single game assist record for the Knicks. It's like something like 30.
Knicks, so Dallas shot the ball. Knicks got the ball back. They're smart enough to immediately give the ball back to Courtney Lee, who got fouled. Knicks are up by 4. Courtney Lee's going to the free throw line. It's 7 seconds to go in the game. Knicks got this one. So they will at least in this week have won one game while we're on the air.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, the KP thing, like, what if he's just not a superstar? What if he's a very good player, but we need another superstar to pair with him?
Hey, if we could get one, then that's fine.
Is Westbrook signing here?
No, stop it.
Okay. Anton writes, just watch the Heat game. I don't know if it's just me being a Knick fan, but we seriously get hardly any calls. Guys getting hit left and right and no calls. But the Heat get barely touched and go to the line. It's getting ridiculous now. And KP is getting beat up. He needs to go to the gym. He's too weak. By the way, guy. Okay, so by the way, Courtney Lee now has hit 43 straight free throws. He hit the last 2. He is tied with Gallinari and 1 behind Duhan.
Wow.
The rest of the list, it's Duhan, Gallinari. Sprewell was next, and I missed whoever was 5th. But he is now 1 behind tying for Stu on for the record. I'm going to say I'd put a lot of money on Courtney Lee breaking this record.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good. I'm really glad we have him on the team.
You're not being sarcastic. You sound sarcastic everything you say, by the way.
No, he was one of the only signings since we started this podcast that I was legitimately happy that we got.
I think he's also like a great veteran for guys to learn from. I don't know how he's in the locker room, but like just everything he does on the court, he's always working really hard. He seems like a guy you'd want players to try to emulate.
Yeah.
I mean, like basically, if Dotson in his career ever got as good as Courtney Lee, we would be ecstatic.
Exactly.
About the Dotson draft pick.
Yep.
But what do you think about the we've talked about that last week also a little bit, the foul calls. What do you think of the foul calls? Does it seem like the Knicks get is it me or like does every fan of every team complain about this?
I think so.
Yeah,
There's probably people in Golden State saying like, I can't believe these refs.
Yes, yeah. There are LeBron fans being like, my God, LeBron gets too many foul calls on him.
Yeah. He
Knicks
got called for a foul twice today.
What do you say?
He got called for a foul twice today, and LeBron's flawless.
That's insane. And like he flopped and didn't get the foul, and the refs shouldn't even they should just give it to him. If he goes out of his way to flop, they should just give it to him.
We got to be careful on the LeBron hate. I saw Almighty Baller has like one negative review, and it's because the podcast said something bad about LeBron in the middle of it.
Okay, he's one of the greatest ever. Don't give us hate for that.
There you go.
No one's really knocking LeBron here. But I would say I do think there is a bias towards bigger guys you can hit bigger guys harder, and smaller guys can hit them less. Like if you touch a big guy, no foul. You touch a small guy, he gets the foul call. Mm-hmm. If you're further from the basket, you get more touch fouls. If you're closer to the basket, you can get punched in the face. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I feel like there is a bias towards depth of your how far away you are from the basket and how big you are for what the refs will allow.
Yeah.
Anything else you got, Jay?
Oh, that was it for questions?
That was it. We didn't get a lot of questions this week.
What, did we lose our entire fan base because we did a show on Monday instead of Sunday?
I think so. We'll be back. We'll be doing Sundays the rest of the way, and maybe some weeks we'll be doing 2 shows a week. If Jay can just pass the guy the MCPA. No offense, Jay. I'm not getting sick of you not passing it. I want this to be done with. I want you to pass this one, the next one, get this done with, right, Jay?
Working on it. All right, so I guess thanks for listening, everybody. We learned that Mark is having a complete 180 on Beasley.
Yeah, no, I don't. I like Beasley. He's nice, not bad. He's nice. He's
you sound so pained to say that.
I know. Like you go back and I will admit, like a new fact. Like the thing is, it's not that I'm just like being wishy-washy on him. Like new facts, like he looked like crap for so long for part of this year, and I wanted him like sent to Siberia, which I think I said on multiple episodes. And now he's been playing a lot better, and then these new facts have changed my mind. Like he looks like a guy you might want on the team next year. Mm-hmm. At the same time, like Doug McDermott, which was a guy who I thought might be a keeper. I don't even see the point of keeping Doug McDermott. His defense is adequate. He disappears on offense too much. I don't know. I'd rather give his minutes to Dotson, maybe. I don't know. Not saying we have to right now. I'm just saying of the 3, Kylo Quinn and McDermott and Beasley, I might be leaning towards Beasley right now, which sounds insane.
Yeah.
But you have a guy who could be an efficient scorer. I love efficient scoring. And he could rebound. And he could do a bunch of dumb stuff that can give us stuff to rant about. I don't know. I am surprised about Beasley. What else we learned today? We learned the Knicks didn't go the whole week without winning, so that was good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're now, I think they're 19-21.
Yes.
Still respectable.
Still respectable. Halfway through the season.
I don't know if we're still in the we're the 9th or 10th seed now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I believe 10th. The Knicks are in. Yes, they are in 10th right now.
Yeah, I am yeah.
It's not bad.
That is it's not bad at all. Like I'd like to get points past the what were we? They were 23-23 or 22-22 2 years ago.
Yeah. 22 and
before
22,
Fisher
I
was
believe.
before Fisher was fired. So I want to get past there. I want to get through the whole season without looking like to really be a successful season. I want this team to 35 wins would be 47 losses, right? That's not so good. 38 and 40, 38 and 42, 44. 38 and 44, I'd be kind of fine with. If we can get to the upper 30s, I feel like this would be a very respectable season.
Yeah, I would take that. I mean, we're on pace for that right now, so.
Yeah, no reason they can't do that. And I think this January stretch will be tough. We get through January, the rest of the way, they should be able to. I don't think this road home thing will be as crazy different when the season ends.
Yeah, they can't stay this bad on the road.
I think it's a lot of just having a lot more home games against and easier home games, and that stuff. The stuff will just balance out by the end of the season.
Yeah.
There's no way the Knicks are just I am a better player when the fans go me, go me. There's no way the cheering makes that big of a difference.
Right.
But okay. That's all I got.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next Sunday. Here's the goodbye song that Mark won't be able to hear.
I won't be here. That's great. Jay, could you hum to me?
Backbeat train.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end.